Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I will be presenting my analysis and explanation for 5 questions related to creating directory and file structures based on my identity as a part of midterm examination for the operating system course. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Fitri Amanda. You can call me Manda. My student identification number is 09031282328100. I'm from the Information System Regular B class, batch 2023. In this video, I will answer each question with a detailed explanation and analysis. So let's get started. Okay, first we have to open our virtual box. I use Ubuntu. Then open the terminal. Here I wanna use root, so to run a command as administrator, I use this command. Wait, okay. So here we have a case. It's about a system administrator is asked to set up a working environment for a development team. Each student is required to create a directory and file structure according to their identity. So, the first step is about directory structure. We have to create a main directory named nim_name inside home mahasiswa. Let we make it use this command. This is my name and this is my full name. The mkdir command is used to create a new directory. The -p option, this one, ensures that if the parent directory does not access, it will also be created. So after running this command, the directory will be created. We can use this command to displaying the list of directories. So there is still total 0. And then we have to create 3 subdirectories inside this directory. It must be document, code, and arsip. We can use this command. Then the files we want to make. Document. Okay. This command will create 3 subdirectories at once inside the directory name_name, namely document, code, and arsip. We can display the contents of all subdirectories. Use this command. So only there arsip, document, and code. The document to store text files and other documents, the code to store program code, and the arsip to store backup files. Okay, the second is about file manipulation. So I have to make a file identitas.txt inside the documents directory containing name, and study program. You can use this. Okay. Echo, this one. Echo is used to write the text into a file. And this option, -e, option allows the use of escape characters such as this one. This is for make a new line. And this one, is used to write text into the file. Okay. We can check if identitas.txt has been created. So there's a result of my data. The second step is copy identitas.txt to rzip and rename it to identitasbackup.txt. Yep, we can use this command. So this one is to rename it. cp this this command is used to copy files. In this command, identitas.txt is copied to the rzip directory and rename it to identitas backup. We can check if the file has been copied to rzip as identitas backup.txt. Use this following command. So it already renamed to identitas backup. Okay, the next one is we have to move identitas.txt to the code directory. Use this command. Okay, for this command, MV is used to move files from the one location to the other location. Okay, and then we have to check if the file has been moved to codec. So the total is null. It means identitas.txt is not there. It means the file has been successfully moved to the code. To check it, we can use this code. Nah, so in code there's total 4. So identitas.txt is already moved into code. Identitas.txt already disappear from documents and will appear in code. And the next is the third question is about access permission setting. In these sections, we have changed the file access permission and ownership. Now we will check this change. First, we have to set file permissions, grant the file owner read and write access, while the group can only read and others cannot access. We use command. So for the explanation, the owner can read and write, the group can only read, others cannot access. To check if to checking file permission after change, we can use the following command. So the function chmod 640 sets permissions as follow: owner can read and write, group read only, and others no access. The file access permissions will be changed. Okay. The next, we have to change the file ownership to be owned by root and group staff. Use this command. The function, this one, chown, is used to change file ownership and group. Next, we have to display the file permissions and ownership after changes. To ensure the file is truly owned by a root staff, run this command. Okay, for the detail, we can also use this one. This one for the results displays file permission and ownership. Okay, next to the question number 4 is about symbolic link. In these sections, we will create a symbolic link and see how change in the original file affect the symbolic link. The first one, we have to create referency underscore name.txt file. Use this command. Okay. The result will be the reference name txt file will be created with the following content. Then we have to create a symbolic link to reference underscore name txt name shortcut underscore name txt. To check it out, run this code. Okay, so it's already have the shortcut underscore my name. Okay, the this one it this one the one link at the beginning indicates that this is a symbolic link. So the next we have to display file list to confirm the symbolic link was created. For the result, now shortcut underscore my name exists in the directory with an arrow indicating it is a symbolic link to reference underscore name txt. And then next one, we have to modify the contents of reference underscore name. And then this code will make a new content. So the previous content is this is the operating system documentation of Fitramda with name with my name. And the new content is will be updated to documentation has been updated by Fitri Amanda. Okay, the last one we have to display the content of shortcut underscore name. So this is for the results. Documentation has been updated by Fitri Amanda. What happens even though we modified reference name txt when opening shortcut underscore name txt, its content also changed. Why? Since shortcut name txt is a symbolic link pointing to reference name and .txt, any changes made to the original file are reflected in the shortcut. So, the last one we have to talk about user max or Umax. In the sections, we will set Umax and see how it affects the access permission of newly created files. Okay, the first one, we have to check the default Umax file. Umax value use this best. Okay, so the output is 0022. Okay, then we have to change Umax to 0 to 7. Use this Umax. Now, so what changes? Now, all newly created files will have stricter permissions. The owner can read and write, the group only read, and the others no access. To check, run to max. So it already changed. Okay, the last one we have to create a new file data underscore name txt. Just this comment. Okay, so the file data is created, but its permission will be different due to the Emacs setting. To display the file permissions, we have to this one. Mm, Oh, sorry, typo. Nah, so this shows that owner can read, right? This one. RNW is means owner can read, right? Uh, this one is means group read only, and this one, dash is mean no access for others. So setting Umax 027 ensures that new files are created with permissions, with meaning the owner can read and write, the group can only read, and others cannot access to the file. So the conclusion of this with Umax, newly created files automatically have 640 permissions. Why is this important to learn? Setting Umax is crucial for security, ensuring that newly created files are not accessible by unauthorized users. Okay, I think that's all. I think that's all. Thanks for your attention. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.